There we go.
Okay, so the book I'm gonna be finishing. Well, not finishing, but
Daniel, we're gonna introduce
continuing.
you. Let's do the good mornings, everybody.
Daniel's on the track right now. He's trying to run a race. Look at his face. What you talking about, Willis? Good morning, everybody,
Good morning.
and welcome to the Young Scholars Academy. And we have some fantastic scholars going to read and share some of their favorite books with us today. And we are going to start off with Mr. Daniel.
Hello.
Good morning, Daniel. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm good, thanks. Thank you for asking, sir.
You're welcome. So the book I'm going to be continuing is Minecraft the Crash. It is one of my favorite stories that I've ever read. Uh, I just don't know why. But okay, so I'm gonna continue here. I'm gonna continue. So we stopped at chapter 2, right?
I
I
believe so.
I can't remember. Uh, I'm just gonna say we did. There was a halo of light over me. I panicked for a moment until I realized it was just a street lamp. I must have been lying on the ground. Only I couldn't feel anything. Not the ground, not my body. I couldn't even move. I tried to say something, but my mouth didn't work either. A woman with a blonde ponytail leaned over me, frowning. She looked up and mouthed something to someone I couldn't see. No, she was talking, but I couldn't hear her. I couldn't hear anything. Only my eyes seemed to work. Only my eyes seemed to be working. And even that, everything was dim and restricted, as if I could only look up. I tried to move something, anything, a finger, my tongue. Nothing worked. I wondered if I was dead and my spirit was just hanging out for a bit before I went to wherever spirits go. Maybe it was stuck too and couldn't move. Maybe we were both paralyzed. The blonde lady was wearing a shirt and the blonde lady was wearing a shirt that had a patch that read Holy Angels Hospital Emergency Medical Technician. She seemed to be moving her hands over my body. I I don't know what okay. She seemed to be moving her hands over my body, doing I don't know what because I still couldn't feel anything or move my eyes enough to see. I wondered if we were still at the site of the accident, if Lonnie was nearby, if he was in the same shape as me, if the other driver was there too, if he could feel anything, if my parents or my sister knew where I was, if this was where I'd die. My vision wobbled and shifted as if I was being moved. The halo of light from the street lamp was gone. Above me, the sky was dark, much darker than it was when Lonnie and I left the park. I tried to think of how long it takes for the sky to get so dark. A few minutes? Hours? How long had I been there? Then my other senses started to come back. First, the EMT's voice rang out over me. Get her in the rig. Behind that was the sound of sirens, people shuffling about, shouting things that I couldn't make out, and the unmistakable sound of metal warping. I heard the crunch of gravel underfoot and the click of something snapping into place beneath me. I was being moved, slowly and smoothly. The stars twirled. Smoke came out next. A burst of pungent smoke and acrid rubber, sweat, and something earthy. Then I tasted blood in my mouth. I moved my tongue and tried to feel around. Everything was tender. I felt jagged pieces against the tip and bare spaces of swollen gums. More sounds, screaming, crying, groaning. The car's alarm was going off. As the robo voice calmly intoned that help was on the way. Lights flashing red against the shiny white paint of the ambulance. Inside of the ambulance, smooth white roof, metal latches on the supply bins overhead. The face of the EMT lady and another guy kept leaning over me, one smiling and the other frowning. Only I kept mixing up which was which because my eyes couldn't focus on or the other. And it kept being bumped. And the siren was going, so we must have been on our way to the hospital. We had a smooth, straight path of road, and my vision became less jangly. It was the man. The man was smiling. Next, I lifted out of the smell, and a skeptic immediately Next, I was lifted out, and the smell of antiseptic immediately washed over me. The hospital lights were a bright white. Someone could tell it wasn't. Someone should tell them that it wasn't soothing. They should get healing lights like the ones out on the street. I closed my eyes and heard the squeaky sneaker feet running beside me, as well as the wheels on the gurney swiveled. On the floor. No, on the gurney swiveled and bumped over the hospital floor. I saw the light still beaming down through my eyelids, and I can tell that every time somebody leaned down over me, I could tell everybody that leaned down over me, they cast in my face shadow. Suddenly, I start to feel again. It began like a wave at my extremities. My feet and hands felt like the skin had been peeled back. I could feel everything, and it was all pain. I screamed out, and the running picked up speed. The pain moved inward to my stomach, and then radiated out to the top of my head. There was nothing that didn't hurt. My legs, my arms, my torso, my neck, my head, my mouth, my eyes. I felt like I'd been through a grinder. I couldn't stop screaming, even though it hurt my throat even more. I couldn't stop. I think that they were trying to make it stop. I could feel them moving me, jostling me. I can hear them trying to tell me something, but I couldn't make out anything over the sound of my own screaming. I can make out only the way I felt, and the way everything felt. And I thought, is this dying? I tried to tell them, make it stop, then everything did. I'm going to stop right here. My nose is stuffy. I'm gonna stop right here though. I don't know anything else to say right now.
It's all right, man. You got noise in the background. Your nose is stuffy. You get the allergies popping.
Yeah.
You're all good, man. You're all good.
Okay.
All right. You know what? We're gonna move to Eeyore.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Bubba. Thank you. Eeyore, Amaya.
Yeah.
We're gonna move to you in your cute pajamas.
So last time we was on Kelly in the secret journal mixed up, and she was trying to help her brother, but her mom didn't let her help. Someday. At the bottom, I wrote good report sticker. Then I wrote 5 stickers. Baseball team. I tapped the sheet with my leftover stickers onto the paper. Then I tapped the chart to the door. Taped the chart to the door of Brennan's room. Mom said the chart was a very good idea, but that she should probably keep the chart so she could put stickers on it when Bren got a good report. When I got to school today, told Tiffany that Mom and I were going to come over soon to get my journal. You better not, she said. Why not? I asked her. I don't want to give it back to you yet, she said. And if you come over with your mom, I will tell her all the bad stuff you wrote. You're mean, I said. If you tell my mom that I think her new haircut makes her look like an old lady, then that will hurt her feelings. And my mom is always nice to you. Why would you hurt her feelings? Tiffany smiled in a mean way. Again, I won't hurt her feelings if you do what I say, Tiffany said. You have to play with me at recess. I want to play Airplane Princess Twins. Fine, I said. Even though I hate Airplane Princess Twins, I like regular Airplane Twins better. Lily and I made it up. We pretend we are twin sisters on an airplane, and we pretend fly to different corners of the playground. We pretend the different spots on the playground are famous places where we can do cool stuff. Like we will pretend fly to Australia and hop around with kangaroos. Then we will pretend fly to the North Pole and visit Santa's workshop. Airplane Twins is so fun, but Airplane Princess Twins isn't fun at all because you don't get to do any hopping and you don't get to fly to very cold places. You just get to fly to different houses and castles where you sit inside and drink pretend tea. Maybe it will be more fun if Lily plays too. Maybe Tiffany will let us play Airplane Princess Triplet instead. 3:30 p.m. Tiffany will not let us play triplets. She said we were playing twins only. I told Lily I was sorry, but that I had promised Tiffany in the morning that I would play with her. Lily looked sad, but she went to play with Shan and Ramen.
What's the word? Spell it out.
Royann.
Royann. Royann? Is that a name?
Royann? Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Royann?
Royann.
Monkey bars. Eric came over after school today so we could do our homework and the homework hunt. It was pretty cold, so Mom gave us some old blankets and towels for the hunt. Eric was talking about the visit from Bob, and he was very excited, but I just kept thinking about Tiffany. I'm going to ask Bob if he thinks I should write a book about spices living on a ship. Eric said, Tiffany has my journal and she won't give it back. I blurted out, huh? Eric said. I reminded him that I had to go to Tiffany when he was at the Wizards game. I told him that Tiffany read the journal and there was some stuff I had written in there that wasn't too nice. But I said the not nice stuff was about people in my class. I didn't tell Eric I had written some not nice stuff about him. That's all I'm going to read today.
Thank you. Thank you. You had a lot of static and background noise going on in there. Yeah.
He's my baby brother.
Oh, okay. That's all good. That's all good.
He listens.
Ayana, are you ready to go up?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because Moran's eating her beans right now, so we're gonna give her a bean break, and then she's gonna be up right after you.
What? I'm not even. Dude.
Okay, so hello. Today I'm starting a new book. It's called Black Panther: Tales of Wakanda, a groundbreaking anthology from African dysphoria.
Oh, you both have the same thing.
No, I got mine is Black Panther, just Black Panther by Ta-Nehisi Coates.
This is the cover of
Oh,
the. It's called Black Panther: Tales of Wakanda, a groundbreaking anthology from the African diaspora.
Diaspora.
Yeah,
Yeah. Do you know what that's called? What you have in your hand? You know what
no.
the difference between my comic and what you have? That's called a trade paperback. So trade paperbacks are a series of comics put together so you can just keep on reading. It's almost like Netflix, next episode.
I don't think this is comic. These are comics.
No, it's the storyline put together probably. Is there a lot of animation in it?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So then you have the book.
This is the book.
Gotcha.
Okay. Hold on. Here is, hold on. Trying to fix the book cover so it doesn't come off the book. Okay. The introduction, an unexpected gift. As a child, I began constructing my Wakandan soul. As you see, one of my first comic books, if not the first, was a copy of The Avengers number 177. Inside was a collection of heroes some of my adolescent and comic obsessed mind knew that, and some I didn't. In particular, I discovered a soft spoken man in black who didn't have a magic hammer, an indestructible shield, or a red and gold suit of solar charged armor, yet somehow was respected by everyone, from the invincible Iron Man to the mighty Thor and Captain America. Even the issue's villain noted how noble, honorable, and regal this man was. This was my first time laying my eyes on T'Challa, the Black Panther, and I was hooked. Here was a character who wasn't a sidekick or an assistant, wasn't a black dystopian style stereotype, like talking street character or wearing discreet style clothing, and wasn't in awe of the godlike white man with whom he associated. In fact, he is richer and more powerful than Tony Stark, on par with geniuses like Bruce Banner, Henry Pym, Reed Richards, and who was just as royal as Thor, Doctor Doom, Prince Namor, and best of all, he looked like me. Or at least what I hoped I would look like whenever I made it to adulthood. Thereon, the pages of the comic was an unapologetic, proud, intelligent paragon of blackness, our personal King Arthur. In addition to saving the world alongside the Avengers and other superheroes, the Panther took on issues that we personally cared about, like the Klan. I can't say that. APARTHEID. I'm just gonna spell it because I can't say it.
That's
Racism.
apartheid in South America. They call it apartheid. That's how you pronounce it.
Okay. Racism, colorism, and anti-Africa hatred. He walked the mean yet majestic streets of Harlem, and he called the most advanced country in the world, which happened to be in Africa, no less his home. From that day forward, I absorbed many tales of Black Panther as I could find, whether it was supporting a character in the Fantastic Four, a member of the Avengers, a star of his own tales in the unfortunately titled Jungle Action, or his own Black Panther series. Eventually, it would move into other media in the 2010 to 2011 Black Entertainment Television cartoon series. And finally, the I can't say it again.
Apartheid?
No.
Spell that out.
PONYMOUS.
Eponymous?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ground
Yeah,
record
we need to
breaking.
write these down.
I do.
Okay.
Record breaking. Indeed, many of us have been constructing our Wakanda souls for years. We know every twist and bend in Serpent Valley and the heights of the Warrior Falls. We know his uniform is a kingly habit, not a cat costume, and we sat with T'Challa and Monica Lynn as we bonded overlooking scented Wakandan countryside. We cried when the blast blessed the union on T'Challa, and we raged when the world wouldn't know them to remain together as they were destined to be. We feared the coming of Killmonger, the one man T'Challa has never entirely beaten. Our fascination with the character gave us a head start on Wakandan lore, and for a long time, a relatively exclusive group. In the recent days, that's changed. Black Panther has joined the ranks of cultural icons, and we're ecstatic that many other people, many of whom had never heard or cared about the Panther before the movie, have figured out that so many of us always knew. T'Challa is the man, and we are Wakanda. With the Panther's ascension, many of us found the courage to define ourselves and the heroes we would be and what they would look like and what they represented, not only to us, but to the world. This is the true gift that Black Panther gave us, the world. The opportunity to embrace his or her own personal heritage, each unique, each worthy, each distinctive to his or her own nation, cultural ethnicity, and even the neighborhood. Yet this legend is more than just a mythology told by modern-day griots and around an electric fire. Wakanda is more than the ancestral plains to which we may aspire, and T'Challa is more than the Dream King who meant to aspire greatness. The Black Panther has long represented genuine change in the comic book industry, and a step forward in the men and women who have crafted these modern-day morality tales. When Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created T'Challa, Wakanda, and the Panther mythos, I don't know if I said that right. They weren't creating just another supporting character for popular comic book series. Appearing in the Fantastic Four, number 52, dated July 1966. July 1966. T'Challa was the first major black comic book character to appear in a mainstream comic. By introducing him, they made a declaration that all men are equal and that every man and woman who proves to be worthy of being a king, a queen, and a hero. It didn't stop here. His editorial Stan's Soapbox, which appeared in all of the Marvel titles, Lee proposed racism and bigotry are among the deadliest social ills plaguing the world today. That we should judge each other on our own matrix, and not the color of our skin, our gender, our religion, or any other artificial barrier that mankind has invented. I don't claim to know what was going through their minds when Stan and Jack came up with the Panther. Feels right to call them Stan and Jack instead of Mr. Lee and Mr. Kirby, given the sheer number of their comic books I devoured. What do I know is that their work revolutionized the industry and shattered the glass ceiling for comic books and all popular culture storytelling. The Panther was first, but then his weight came a whole new world. Other characters followed, including the Falcon, Marvel's first major African American hero, and Luke Cage. With the black comic book characters, there came another world-changing concept: black comic book writers and artists. They had existed before, as with the lauded artist Matt Baker of the 1940s and 1950s, and even George Herman, the creator of Crazy Cat, but for a few readers know for their ethnic origins. Suddenly, we discovered the illustrations such as Billy Graham, who worked on Black Panther and Luke Cage, Keith Pollard, Avro Jones, and Ron Wilson. Black innovators became the prominent in other media as well.
They were Floyd Norman, an animator for Disney, Martin R. Delaney, the author of Blake or The Huts of America, considered one of, if not he, the father of African American speculative fiction. Speculative fiction. Other such prose superstars have included the incomparable Octavia Butler, whose work opened the eyes of so many in the generation, Nell Hopkins, N.J. Jemisin, Tanner Dew, and Nikki Giovanni. Back in comics, innovation was continued as Marvel brought on a board of pioneering African-American editor, Christopher Priest, who went on to write the Black Panther series. This was the great Dwayne McDuffie, my own personal guide, and one of the first comic book writers I ever met. Helped to find one of the entire imprint dedicated to African American characters and creators. Their legacy continued through creators like Aaron McGruder, Ta-Nehisi Coates, and Reginald Hudlin, and more. Why short stories? I've invented those characters my entire life. I love those characters my entire life. I love comic books my entire life, but I've also loved books, and in my early days, I discovered why there weren't more books that are featured in my favorite comic book characters. In my mind, superheroes translated too well to the printed page. Great heroic characters, tragic situations, massive sacrifices, happy endings, romance, heartbreak, loneliness, despair, and triumph. All wrapped up in the characters who have a strong belief in the righteousness of their actions and the idea that someone would do something when a person needs help. What better characters feature in a novel? But when I was beginning my reading journey, those books didn't really exist. And there were the Big Little books, but those were baby comics that didn't have enough story in them to satisfy me. I came along before the easy availability of collective editions, and I still own my copy of the first Marvel graphic novel, The Death of Captain Marvel, and The New Mutants. I wanted more story than I was getting from the monthly comic books, and to me, novels were the best option. This is how I personally started writing, because I couldn't wait till next month to see what happened to Luke Cage, the Avengers, Black Panther, or the Avengers, or Black Panther. So I started plotting the stories for myself and came home to fill in the time between the issues. And of course, being crazy happy when one of my ideas showed up on the page. Great minds think alike, I thought. And settling on my ideas aside, when the writer and the artist went in other directions. But those days, sitting at home, coming up with stories around Jim Rose, Sam Wilson, Mighty Knight, Ora Monroe, and other Marvel characters were doing situations that I would put them in still is a fun memory. Then the distinguished competition had its breakthrough. I love that the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton and Jack Wilson, but what was better than after that movie came out, a line of anthologies that allowed writers to write their own version of Batman stories. They weren't just Penguin stories and Alfred stories. This wasn't just the further adventures of Batman. These were tales of Gotham. These are stories about the world of Batman. I still have my mind tattered. The Further Adventures of Batman anthologies, edited by Martin G. Greenberg, here in my freedom, dog-eared, tattered, well-read, and absolutely loved. I consumed them over and over, and when I finished my own Black Panther novel, Black Panther, Who is the Black Panther?, I looked at those anthologies and thought back. This 2018 Black Panther movie was just as or even more influential than the 1989 Batman movie. The Black Panther is therefore, T'Challa's world needs, and nay deserves, the same kind of exploration and approach as Bruce Reigns did, and so by the writers who appreciate and admire the world of Wakanda in the same way writers adored the world of Gotham a couple days ago. And Ideas was born. In your hands, you hold the first anthology of Wakandan stories told specifically by authors of African heritage who have been inspired by the Black Panther. Tales told in a variety of voices, revealing that a variety of concepts, yet all coming from the same place, their Wakanda souls. With this book, our goal is to take the point of what Stan and Jack starred, combining it with so many writers and artists continued over the years, and reveal the inspiration instilled in our readers in minds like me, who discovered T'Challa and suddenly felt connected with something greater. In these tales, we hope you find passport into the world here, and African colonization failed, and Afrofuturism rules supreme. Wakanda's forever, and the Pantheon stalks those who left there and the innocent. Come sit with us around the fire, feel the air and wind and forgiving sun, as we pledge to honor the Panther God and her disciple by keeping their legend alive with some of the newest and most exciting talent to come from Mother Africa. But somewhere, I hope this is a young child like me, sitting alone in their room, learning that the world is a lot larger than he or she thinks. And that for them, with the anthology of Bat's blessing for the spark of their own Wakandan soul ignites. That was the introduction. It was very long. But that's all I'm going to read today.
Nice, nice. I can't wait to hear the rest of that book because I've got so many things Black Panther. But there's Black creators like Keyshawn Dodd has the Menzuo series, and he's looking to create a game, and he's got Menzuo playing cards. And then there's another one, Daryl. What's the name of that one? You have the DVD of us supposed to get from you. African animation. I see the ads on social media. I can't
Black
think of the name.
Sands.
What is it?
Black Sands.
Yeah, Black Sands. Yeah, Black Sands is another one. All right, Maran, are you up? You ready? You ready? You put the snacks down? You put the beans down?
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Hello, I'm not big. I'm so small today. No one can see me. Hello, can anyone see me? I'm so small. Anyway, I'm gonna continue on my Bedelia.
Oh, Bedelia, yeah. Amelia
Yes,
Bedelia.
we're not doing anything about it. Anyways, we continue on Bedelia. In chapter 4, a walk in the park. The next afternoon, Amelia Bedelia met Dana in the park, just as they had planned. Dana had her dog Buster with her. Buster with her, but she was also surrounded by 9 other dogs, in all shapes and sizes. Hi, Amelia Bedelia. Did you bring any of your famous lemon tarts along with you? Asked Dana. Amelia Bedelia shook her head. Sorry, I forgot. I'm glad, said Dana. Those yummy tarts drive my dogs crazy. Amelia Bedelia began to scratch a dog behind its long, leathery ears. They were enormous, like an elephant's ears. That's a bloodhound. His name is Sherlock, said Dana. He can follow any trail just by tracking a scent. A scent, said Amelia Bedelia. Can he find more valuable stuff like dimes and quarters and dollar bills? A bloodhound can follow a smell for miles and find whatever needs to be found, Amelia explained Dana. At that moment, all the dogs perked up their ears. Then they all turned their heads in the same direction. Amelia Bedelia looked up too. Prancing down the path was a magnificent poodle. Here's a picture of dogs. And look, it can travel by any scent, bunnies, dimes, quarters, whatever. Yeah. Wow, said Amelia Bedelia. What a cutie. Wait, wow, said Dana. What a cutie. Are poodles your favorite dog? Said Dana. Do you know the boy walking it? Amelia Bedelia was so captivated by the dog.
Yep, captivated. Good way. Great sounding out.
Thank you. That she hadn't noticed the boy at all. She looked back at him, just as he and his dog came upon a group of skateboarders at the top of the hill. One of the skateboarders whistled loudly, while another blowed deeply. A third yelled, "Hey, dog boy!" I guess so. Who's your? Then they laughed, and they rode in circles around the boy and his dog. Millie Bedelia felt bad for him. Those skateboarders went to her school. Tomorrow she'll tell them not to be so mean to other people. "I have a favor to ask," said Dana. "Would you help me return all these tired pups to their owners? They are your pals. They won't give you any trouble." Sure, said Millie Bedelia. "I can do that." "Thanks," said Dana. I need to get home early. Tonight I'm on my very first blind date." Millie Bedelia didn't know what to say, so she asked the question. "Will you go take his eye-seeing dog for a walk?" Curious look came over Dana's face. Then she began to laugh. "Oh, honey," she said, "my date isn't blind. He can see. We've just never met before. We have friends in common, and they wanted us to meet since we both work with dogs. He has a dog grooming business, and he's a vet." "Wow," said Millie Bedelia. "If Buster ever got sick, you can just take him to your blind date." Look, it's a blind date. Dan laughed even louder. No. He isn't a veterinarian," she said. "He's a veteran. He served the military and worked with dogs. Then he went back to school and learned how to groom dogs. He loves them." Dana took the leashes of all 10 dogs and handed half of them to Millie. "Here you go," she said. "These 5 live on Maple Street. They're very smart. They'll let you know which house is theirs." "Thank you for trusting me," said Millie Bedelia. "And have fun tonight." Crossing Leashes, Chapter 5. Look at this picture. So cute.
I love that name, Amelia Bedelia. It's catchy. It is catchy.
And the one picture. She's one picture up. Did I skip a page? No, I didn't skip a page. It's just one picture. At their leisure. The dogs. Wait, did I skip it? What the heck? I'm confused. Oh my God. Bedelia headed out of the road park towards Maple Street. She ran into the boy and his poodle. Just to be friendly, Millie Bedelia said, "Nice dog," said the boy. "Thanks. You got a lot of nice dogs." Millie Bedelia's packs of dogs strained. Okay, this is supposed to be when I show the picture. I just skipped one. Hold on. At their leashes, dragging her over to the poodle. Dogs out little yips of greeting and approval while they were sniffing and snuffing one another. Soon their leashes were completely tangled up. They were wrapped every which way around Amelia Bedelia's legs. It looked like some maypole dance with Amelia Bedelia playing part of the role. "I think if I try to move, I'll fall over," said Amelia Bedelia, swaying from side to side. They don't let a muscle. They don't move a muscle," said the boy. He let go of his leash, commanding his poodle to sit. It actually sat, and began to untangle Amelia Bedelia. "You must love dogs," he said. "I do," said Amelia Bedelia, "but these are mine. I have a friend who walks dogs for a business." "I should hire a friend," said the boy. "I love my dog, but I hate to walk him. Kids always make fun of me." "I saw what happened," said Amelia Bedelia. "I know those guys. Tomorrow at school, I'll tell them to stop that before I just continue here. Oh my, so cute and silly. At school, I'll tell them to stop it." "No, don't do that," said the boy. "Having a girl come to my rescue would be even worse." "But I can help you," said Amelia Bedelia. "Who are you?" said the boy. "My name is Millie Bedelia." As soon as she said that, she could tell by the look on his face look on her face. Well, look on his face that he'd heard of her. Where? Oh yeah. His eyes lit up and he said, "Hey, I remember you. You were on TV. You got in trouble because you're a lemonade stand." "That's me," said Amelia Bedelia. "I'm Charlie," said the boy. "What's your dog's name?" asked Amelia Bedelia. "This is Perry," said Charlie. Charlie I have no idea how to pronounce this. The same motion. This is right here.
Motioned. Charlie
Yeah,
motioned for Pierre, meaning probably like call them over.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Charlie motioned
Motion.
for Perry to come over and sit in front of Amelia Bedelia. Perry sat up straight and held out his right paw for her to shake. Amelia Bedelia laughed as she shook Perry's paw. Shake it, shake it, shake it. "What a nice, firm paw shake," she said. Amelia Bedelia wasn't sure to say next. So she asked a question. "I've never seen him such a big poodle. Is Perry an academy size?" "He's a standard poodle," said Charlie. "Gosh," said Amelia Bedelia, "if Perry is a standard poodle, what does a special poodle look like?" "Standard is just a size," said Charlie. "Standard, it means that he's the biggest type of poodle. His fancy haircut makes him look even more gigantic and kind of silly. That's why I get teased sometimes when I walk him." "I have an idea," said Amelia Bedelia. "Meet me here tomorrow. I'll walk Perry and you can walk these dogs." And I'm just thought, wait, actually, that way no one will tease you. Yeah, I'm stopping there.
Nice, nice. Thank you, Madon.
You're welcome.
We have Aaliyah joined us. Leah, you ready to roll? All right, you're up.
Okay, so I'm reading the same book I was reading last Saturday called The With Angels. And if I'm not mistaken, Donnie had just got mad at Goober for playing with her pogo stick. Monday, August 30th, 1954. Other than Daddy's truck, our radio is the most expensive thing we own. The voice is coming out of the brown box that gives us all kinds of news. Mama and Daddy listen close most every night. My parents are very strict with what we tune into our radio. We're only allowed to play Christian music, comedy shows, or anything Daddy says is a time waster are not allowed. Thank goodness Daddy listens to baseball games. Other than that, the radio's for news, Daddy says. Who wants to hear some man talking about boring newsy stuff? I'd rather listen to quiz shows like Break the Bank, but Daddy's not having it. So unless there's a baseball game on, I only half listen. But tonight, I listened all the way when Daddy turned the volume up. The radio commentator said, Virginia Governor Thomas B. Stanley has appointed a 32-member all-white commission on public education to examine the effects of the recent Brown versus Board of Education school integration ruling. The governor has charged his commission with studying how the Brown decision impacts the school state of Virginia. The findings of his study will help the governor plan a course of action. The commission is chaired by Senator Garley Gray of Sussex County. It's been named after the Gray Commission. I didn't fully understand all the talk about commissions and findings, but I did know that Mama and Daddy were pressed onto our radio. Friday, September 3rd, 1954. Why does summer seem to disappear the minute we turn the page on our kitchen calendar from August to September? Just yesterday, I was facing the sheen from my face with the dish towel and wetting the towel with cold water to press on my forehead. This morning, I was fishing in my dresser drawers for something with sleeves until morning's chill gave way to the warmth. I miss summer already, even bee stings and sweat weather. Saturday, September 4th, 1954. School starts in 4 days. All I can think about is me at Pretty Man Coburn. Me on that pretty baseball field. Me inside a school with working clocks and toilets that flush. Me in a homeroom. Me with white kids. Only me. With white kids. Only me. Monday, September 6th, 1954. Today, when I asked Mama why we were celebrating Labor Day, she said to acknowledge those of us who work, to pause on behalf of laborers. But there was no pausing in our house today. It was like we were getting ready to meet the Queen. Some kind of scrub bug has bitten Mama. She spent the day sweeping and wiping all over our house. Is somebody special coming? I asked. You're special, Mama said, and you're going to a new school. I started to ask what me going to Pretty Man had to do with the furniture polish and a broom, but I held my tongue. Somehow, too, Mama's got a good way of thinking a clean house means a good first day of school. Tuesday, September 8th, 1954. Mama's gone cuckoo bird. Yesterday, it was cupboards and carpets. Now it's me. Tonight, I took a bath. Mama scrubbed me cleaner than clean. She washed me from my eyebrows to my toe, then set my hair on hard plastic curlers. Those curlers have teeth on them too, for gripping your hair, Mama explained. Now she expects me to get good night's sleep on those teethy pink plastic things. Mama has given me a whole mess of curlers from her hair kit too. Too many small for my head of hair. When I told her I didn't need the extra curlers and to please put them back in her hair care kit, she insisted that I keep a pile of curlers on the nightstand. They come loose and can fall out while you sleep, she told me. Besides, curlers are like socks. They always have a good way of disappearing. Always good to have some handy. While I was in the bathroom, messing with the curlers in my hair, trying to tie my hard plastic teethy head in a scarf, Mama laid out clothes for my first day at Pretty Man Coburn. When I got back to my bedroom, there was a new hanger dangling from the doorknob, the peach Melba dress. Before I could protest, Mama explained, I sewed a new panel into each side to open up the bodice. It'll fit fine now. The patent leather shoes were on the floor, side by side, at the foot of the dress. I'd taken to calling the shoes the Vaselines. They had more grease on them than a petroleum factory. The shoes fit, but even with ankle socks, they rub at the heel and at the top of my feet, the place where the buckle meets each of the straps, the worst part. The worst part, though, is that Mama had made a hair bow to match the dress. That thing looked more like a bone than a bow. I would be going to Pretty Man Coburn with Vaseline feet and a peach Melba bone in my hair. I didn't say a word. I couldn't, partly because the only word flinging up inside my head was ugly, and partly because I didn't want to hurt Mama's feelings. She had worked hard on mending the dress, shining the shoes, and making the bow. But what about my feelings? I don't give a nose hair what people think about me. I also don't want to look like stupid. Later in the in-between, for the life of me, I can't sleep. I've counted sheep, chickens, baseball, the stars out my window, and the moans made by our pipes. I'm more excited than on Christmas Eve. What Chinese surprises will be waiting for me tomorrow? With all my excitement, the monster is rocking in my bed again, and in my head. Wednesday, September 8th, 1954. Last night, I dreamed about the panic monster. I woke up with a bad headache from the curlers. When I took them out, their teeth had left marks on my forehead and at my ears. And my curled hair made me look like a muffin head. Mama secured the bone with 4 bobby pins. Then she and Daddy always started repeating their list of always remember and don't forget and make sure you. But before Mama and Daddy could get too deep in their rules, the phone rang. I answered it. I knew the voice right off. It was the white lady from NAACP asking to talk with Mommy or Daddy. I pushed the receiver at Mama. Yes, hello? Cynthia, she said with a smile in her voice. But soon Mama was frowning, shaking her head, saying, I see. When she hung up, she told Daddy and me that I would not be going to school today, that the Hadley's office principal had put a stop to me attending Pretty Man. When will I go? I asked. The NAACP is working towards lifting the hold by noon today, Mama said. But noon came and went. We waited for further instruction and on what to do. The phone didn't ring once. Finally, by 3 o'clock, Mama said, take off the dress and put it back on its hanger. Set the shoes in their box and be careful with the bow. I'm the only kid in Lee County who got to skip the first day of school. I now know what it feels like, two ways at once. Disappointed that I would not be admitted on school today, and relieved that I would not be admitted at school today. As much as I didn't want to show up with muffin hair and a peach Melba dress bow, I did not want to go to school at all. Thursday, September 9th, 1954. Today was the same as yesterday, waiting and wondering and listening for the phone to ring. Gabra started school at Bethune. I don't think the ripped-up school books and raggedy pencils at Bethune will help, but I'm sure, sick of sitting around while Mama scurries from the kitchen to the living room, wiping her hands on her apron, telling me to keep clean. Friday, September 10th, 1954. I've done the same routine several days this week. Scrubbed in the tub, set my hair in curlers, woken up, put on the peach Melba dress, and waited to hear if I'd be attending school or not. Daddy says people who make the state laws are working to slow down integration. NAACP officials are meeting every day to determine if it's safe for me to go to Pretty Man. Today, Daddy brought home 3 different newspapers and read. After supper, before Daddy left for work, he was pinned to the radio, listening close. I listened too, hoping for some news. Governor Stanley has called again for cool heads, calm, and steady sound of judgment, the man on the radio said. Stanley started out by the favor of integration, but has been swayed by the majority, and in recent weeks has been in support of segregationists. School board officials have threatened to close all Hadley public schools rather than integrate them. I'm a trapped rabbit, eager to jump right out of my skin. Sunday, September 12th, 1954. Church was packed today. The Reverend started making a sermon by asking, who among us steps back in the face of a threat? He talks about the school board who is trying to keep the school separate. The Reverend ended the sermon by telling us, those who have faith always step forward. Monday, September 13th, 1954. Back to school once meant back to boredom, back to books, back to Bethune, back to broken. But today I watched everybody except me go back to school for the second week. I wished I was going back to anything, but I would have been held back from school for dumb reasons. Butterflies in a net have more freedom than me. At least they can breathe. I've been holding my breath for near to a week. Thursday, September 16th, 1954. Sitting at home, waiting, hair curled, Vaseline strapped on type. Help. Friday, September 17th, 1954. I am dying of peach Melba bone disease. Could I at least wait in downgrades? Sunday, September 19th, 1954. Well, I got my back to school wish after all. Turns out I'm going back to Bethune tomorrow. Back to bitten up pencils and broken books. Mama and Daddy are sending me back to Bethune for now until people make up their minds about which school I'm going to for good. Monday, September 20th, 1954. I don't know what's worse, no school or old school. At least I can go back to wearing clothes that fit and hair that's nothing like a muffin. By the way, in this year's classroom, it's 11:20 all day long at Mary McLeod Bethune School. The books have yellow pages and are dog-eared. I stared and stared at my classroom's broken clock and feel as yucky as chewed gum feels. I pressed both thumbs hard under my desk. More than ever, I knew that Bethune doesn't have whatever it is I need to learn to go to college and doctor school. Like I wrote before, I have no idea what I need, but I know Bethune doesn't have it. That's why I want to go to Pretty Man so badly. Even though I have never set foot in that building, I have a hunch the kids inside are going to give everything a girl needs to go to doctor school. Wednesday, September 22nd, 1954. Seems the only person happy to have me back at Bethune is Goober. Donnie's here, he said He said to everyone who would listen. I'm now in the middle school division at Bethune, and boy is it bad. It rained all night, so the streets and sidewalks were red from the leaky bricks. And it smelled like a slit smelled like rose from the wet pavement. Double ugh. There's something I haven't noticed about Bethune before. It droops. Even when it's not raining, the building's shoulders slouch. Kids who have been my friends in 8th grade were calling me uppity for wanting to attend Pretty Man. Yolanda didn't even stick up for me. When I asked her to share her umbrella on the walk home, she said, "There's not enough room under here." Be that way, I said. Rain suits me fine. But walking with my friend made something in me droop too. When I got home, my thumbs were red from pressing so hard underneath the desk. Friday, September 24th, 1954. Dear Mr. Jackie Robinson, this whole thing feels like being stuck in a wrong dugout wanting to run. Can we please just get this game started? I want to show Pretty Man how Donnie Ray can really... And that's where I'm going to stop.
Man, that story always kind of just captivates me and keeps my attention. That's a great book. It's a great story. Thank you. Thank you. Miss Audi, do you have anything to say before we wrap up?
No, I enjoy your reading, all of you, as always. Peace and great rising. Happy Saturday. Yeah, I'm doing a few different things, but I'm listening and tuning in as I'm working. So, yes.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy listening to each and every one of you.
Mm-hmm.
The books you choose, the way you read, the stories, just the knowledge that you guys are learning, the way you're stretching yourself on content and grammar. It's amazing to see. It's great to see. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm not having any beans today.
Mr. Rob, I did want to say also, before getting on this rising, I watched Sonia Sanchez. If you all know of her, she's a poet, activist, scholar. She has some really great work. But it just, when I was listening, it made me think of how you all read and how you all are very animated with your reading, really into it. And so if you get the opportunity, you guys can check her out.
All right, thank you. Oh, we had a comment. Miss Renee Hill, who is an educator, asked Aaliyah if she can read the title of her book and show the title of her book. Show the cover.
The book is called With the Might of Angels.
Can you say that again?
I said the book is called With the Might of Angels.
With the Might of Angels, written by whom?
Andrea Davis Pinky.
Okay. Oh, we have a volunteer from the Young Scholars Academy who was around a lot and I think she graduated from AIC. Destiny Davis, everyone's reading. She says everyone's reading has improved so much. I'm proud. I've been reading a book about Charles Darwin and how he wanted to use theory of evolution to prove racial equality.
Wow.
Thank you, Miss Davis.
We miss you.
Yeah, we miss everybody.
Yes.
Can't wait to get back into the Family Center.
Yes.
And we'll have to take a special trip with those young scholars up to New York so we can see our peeps up there.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, that concludes this Saturday's Young Scholars Academy. We appreciate everybody watching and listening. And again, if you have any children that you would like to come out and read, please inbox us and let us know. We would love to have them.
Absolutely.
It's a great opportunity for them to conquer a fear even though you're not in front of a crowd of people, but it's still considered public speaking in a way. So increase your vocabulary, increase your reading comprehension, just get more comfortable with reading. All right. Thank you all. Everyone have a great Saturday. It's raining a little bit in and out. Don't get wet. Daniel, take some vitamins, get those allergies under control.
Me too. I got so many allergies.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.